The market's hot and everybody just wants seller leads. But how do you actually get them? Because I understand that buyer leads are a dime a dozen. You can get them pretty easily with any sort of lead generation ad, but a lot of people really seem to struggle with getting seller leads. So here's what I'm gonna do in this video, and if you stay tuned to the end, you're going to see exactly how to generate them. The first thing I'm going to do is break down the 4 top ways to generate seller leads with Facebook ads. And then I'm actually going to head on into my computer screen and walk you through step by step exactly how to run these ads in order to start getting seller leads. What's up guys, it's Mike Sherrard. Welcome back to another video. Now, if you do get value from this, all that I ask in return is to please smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to show me a bit of love for trying to help you scale your real estate business. And if you do want more context on how to properly run lead ads and how to leverage social media on every platform, drop a comment below and I'll give you my free masterclass. So let's get into this video. Now, how do you generate seller leads? One of these, which is number 2, is actually pretty unique and it's the one that's generated me the most, but most people don't actually do it. So let's get into it. Number 1 is actually a sold ad. So sold ads do really well because what it does is when you're running a sold ad, it shows other people in your market you got the job done. And if you creatively leverage sold ads like I'm going to show you in the exact example in a couple minutes here in the step-by-step tutorial, then this is going to be a great way to demonstrate that you're not just getting the listing, you're actually getting the job done too. Now, number 2 is the unique one, which is the following. UGC posts. Now, what is a UGC post? UGC stands for user generated content. Now, what user generated content is when somebody else is actually posting a photo of or for you, not just yourself. So what I'm referring to here is whenever I sold a property, I used to have this big 5-foot sold sign. I'll actually overlay an image here with a big smiley emoji as the O. And every single time I would help a buyer or a seller close on a property, I would get them to stand outside of the property with their big smiles, emotions, excitement, and I would give them that photo. Now, the really cool thing is that I would just say, hey, here's a photo I took of us, really excited and happy for you. Feel free to share this on your social media with your friends, family, and connections. And what was really cool is almost every single time they would share that post on their social media. And what happens with that is people know that as realtors, it's our job to showcase the highlights. But when somebody else is sharing their excitement from their own perspective of what it was like to work with you, that is when you start to get mass seller referrals. And that's how I got the majority of my sellers over the last few years, is by people sharing this on their social, telling their friends how much they enjoyed working with me, and from there, that's where I started to get their connections reaching out to me as well. Now, the next 2 kind of go hand in hand, but are really easy to generate seller leads as well. So the first one we're going to talk about is a checklist. So what I'm referring to here is moving checklist, home prep checklist, staging checklist, anything that's of value in terms of a checklist to a seller. Because what you can do is put that into a PDF, run it as a Facebook ad, have it as a downloadable opportunity if people opt into your ad. And what you're gonna see there is the only people who want a seller's checklist or a moving checklist or a staging checklist are people who are looking to sell. So you start getting people that are downloading these as resources in preparation for getting their property sold. And then if you're able to reach out to them in the right time using the strategies I'm about to show you, then you're gonna get the seller leads. And the last one is actually guides, which is similar but slightly different. And what I mean here is that we're gonna talk about a seller's guide. And the reason why this works so well is because it actually gives you a really unique opportunity to talk about your differentiating factors, your unique propositions about your marketing, your photos, your twilight, your drones, your videos, and all of the exposure you get compared to other agents that upload it to the MLS and let it become a sitting duck. You do all of these things. So it's a cool resource to talk about how you can properly get your home sold for more money in less time. But in doing so, you're able to curate that guide in a way that works in your favor, talking about what you do above and beyond others. So those are the 4 best ways to generate seller leads. And now, without further ado, let's head on into my computer and walk you through a step-by-step tutorial on how to actually run the first one. All right, so now let's walk through exactly how to create a Facebook lead generation ad for real estate to generate seller leads. This is going to be a no fluff, no BS, straight step-by-step walkthrough showing you exactly how to do it. And we're just gonna get straight to the point so that you can use the sold ad like we talked about. You can use this same process for any of the other 4 that we talked about in the beginning, but we're just gonna use this as a sold ad for an example's sake. So we're here in the Facebook Ads Manager and we're going to come click Create, and we want to select lead generation because we want to generate some leads for sellers. Now you're going to click Continue, and you want to come up here and name it whatever you would like in terms of maybe it's 123 Main Street sold. And the one thing that you do have to do is make sure that you select the special ad category for housing. So we're going to make sure that we select that, unfortunately. And then you don't have to worry about A/B testing, and you don't have to worry about CBO or campaign budget optimization. And we will click Continue. Now, for the ad set, you can say Calgary or your city's home sellers. And we are going to use the instant form or the lead form. We're not going to generate leads for calls. And while calls might be ideal, unfortunately, they don't convert that high. So we want to make sure that we actually generate leads. And that means that we have to use instant forms. So we're going to come down here and select our Facebook page, which is here. And you don't have to worry about dynamic creative either. Now, I typically, if you've seen any of my other videos, I usually spent about $15 a day back when I was a new agent because budget was tight and I wanted to make sure I was spending about $10 or $15 a day on a traditional ad. But on a sold ad, I would bump the budget up a little bit because you got the property sold, you know some money and commission is coming in, so you can invest a bit more money into the ads related to that sold property. So I'd bump it up to about $20 or $30 a day. Now we're going to set a start date maybe of tomorrow. Tomorrow at whatever time, 6 a.m. And make sure that you set an end date. And this is really important because again, I always see people that forget to set an end date. They put a $20 or $30 budget a day. They forget it's about 2 months down the road. They're still running their ad, even though the property sold a couple of months ago, and maybe it's not converting high as much at that point in time. So make sure that you set an end date, maybe a couple weeks down the road, and you're good to go. Now we have to define our audience. So we're going to come select here and we're going to select our city. Now you want to use the default one up here, so people living in or recently in this location. And just type your city's name in here. And because we have the special ad category, we cannot go lower than a 15-mile radius, which is okay. And we will go down here. You cannot adjust the age. You cannot adjust the gender. Now for detailed targeting, I don't usually worry about this. If you want to know more about how to properly target and convert warm and hot leads at scale, drop a comment below again to check out my free masterclass, and I'll show you exactly how to do this, but I don't need to get into it into this video. Now for manual placements is what I like. I don't like to use automatic placements because I find your budget gets wasted on a bunch of nonsense placements. And the best ones are the trusty 3. So we're gonna come through, unclick all of these ones. And we just want these 3: Facebook newsfeed, Instagram feed, and Facebook Marketplace. Now, optimize delivery, we can leave that. And now let's go on to the creative. So Instagram account, select your IG, ad name 123 Main Street sold, and we're going to use a single image. So what we want to do is we want to clear all, we want to add some media, add an image, and we're just going to come through here and use something. Now there's a couple different options here. You can see number 1, if I was traditionally going to do this with the best opportunity, I would select something like this. And this is one of those UGC posts that I was talking to you about, or user generated content, where I have, with their permission, the buyers and sellers outside with the sold sign. This again does very, very well. And then write something nice in here related to your sellers. Now again, in the free training, I do have templates that show you exactly what to write, but we can just write something in here. So congrats to my sellers for getting their home sold for 99%, or in this market, probably for God's sakes, 110% of list price in just 3 days. They listed previously with another agent who couldn't get the job done, but with our unique and innovative marketing and branding strategies, we exceeded their expectations. Now I'm just writing something in here on the whim while I'm recording here, but again, I do have templates for this that actually show you exactly what you should be writing in here to convert at scale, tested it with thousands of dollars across thousands of agents as well. Your home sold over list price. All right, now we're going to come down here, and the call to action is going to be learn more. And then you're going to create a form. So when you want to create a form, you're going to click continue. Now, when you're doing your form, you should name it 123 Main Street sold, or you could just say sellers lead generation. And you can use this for all sellers lead generation, even if things change or you're doing different ads. So come here, use the image from your ad for the headline. I actually usually, sometimes will remove the greeting, but in this case I would say, where would you like us to send our free seller's guide? Questions, you want name, email, and you want phone number. And then privacy policy, this is going to be taken from your website. And then completion, you want to send a link. Now this is where things get a little bit of interesting. Now either A, if you've got it automated to get set up, which again is shown in the Social Agent Academy, you can put a unique link in here that will automate this. Otherwise, you might have to manually send it, and then you're going to have to just direct traffic to your website. And again, you can say something like, thank you. Click below for your free guide or free seller's guide. And again, you can write a little bit of a description in here, which I like to do. So let us know if you would like a free home evaluation to see how much your home would sell for in this market. Reach out anytime at phone number, your phone number obviously, and email. Done. Now for this free seller's guide, and that's kind of how you would do this. So then you would click publish, and once you click that, you would go down publish here, and you're done. So again, quick and dirty, that's how you would run an ad for something like this, for user-generated content, for the sold ad, for the guides, for the templates or downloads or resources, whatever you want to call them. But this is going to be a great way to, again, generate sellers leads in a very effective manner, especially when you can use something like this, which is user-generated content, which is showing the emotions, the excitement, and the happiness of what it was like to work with you. Again, if you want more context, I will gladly send you my free social media training where it will show you a lot more details on how to do this with specifics that you can copy and paste. So if you have any other questions, drop a comment below. Hopefully you found value from this. And if you did, smash that like button for me. Otherwise, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.